Jahre alt, vor 31 Jahren, 1988, spielte er seine erste BDO-Weltmeisterschaft und nach längerer Zeit ist er jetzt auch nochmal hier auf der European Tour mit dabei. Ein herzliches Willkommen, Pokerface Magnus Caris! Pokerface fordert die aktuelle Nummer 30 der Welt heraus. Er hat in Hildesheim beim zweiten European Tour Event das Halbfinale erreichen können. Der World Youth Champion aus dem Jahre 2014, The Needle, Keegan Brown.
House, Ted Evans and Aaron Monk. Keegan Brown looking to make it 4 Englishmen out of 4 through to the second round here at the German Darts Grand Prix. But the Swede, Magnus Caris, is the man hoping to stop him. 50 years old, Magnus. A real elder statesman of the game. Former semi-finalist at the Lakeside and the World Masters. But you're going back to the early 90s when that took place. Back in the early 90s, Keegan Brown, well, at one point, he was an embryo. So it's kind of a clash of eras in this one. But Keegan Brown comes into this in excellent form. He made the semi-finals of the German Darts Championship, followed it up with a semi-final on the Pro Tour. That is something he has never done in PDC Darts, make back-to-back ranking semi-finals. It has been very impressive at times from the Needle. We will see if he can reproduce it here in Munich. Rob Malarkey alongside me for this one. It's the Needle and Pokerface.
Well, Magnus Caris has had plenty of time to get ready for this and to practice for this one because he qualified for this tournament at the start of October. That was the final Nordic and Baltic Pro Tour weekend of 2018 when Rasma and Larsen qualified for the World Champs. And it was that weekend when they ironed out who was going to qualify for the European Tour events as well at the start of 2019. So 6 months in the making this for Magnus Caris. And he came through 5 rounds of qualifying to get here as well. Beat Daniel Larsen, in fact, in the semi-final that weekend to get here. Ulf Sader was the man he beat in the final itself.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Keegan to throw first. Game on.
And he also overcame both Kim Viljanen and Marco Cantelé as well. So it was a fairly tough assignment for him. 3 6-5 wins over the course of that weekend to get here. And hoping to make the most of it against a man who, as you say, Dan, reached the semi-finals in Hildesheim not too long ago. It was a terrific campaign at the German Darts Championship. But it was a campaign that almost ended at the very first hurdle. Madars Rasmussen, 6-5 win in the opening round, then the big fish, Michael van Gerwen, in round 2 with that 104 average. 6 out of 6 on his doubles that day against Van Gerwen as well. It was an astonishing performance by Keegan Brown. James Wilson 6-0. Gerwin Price 6-5 as well in the quarter-final before that semi-final defeat by Ricky Evans.
Well, I'm not really sure with Magnus what the deal is because he's not played in any of the PDC Scandinavian stuff this year. So,
43.
You know, he didn't turn up to Q School or anything like that. So I'm not really sure what his plans are. I mean, is there a chance that this is a farewell? I don't know. Because as you say, he qualified for this at the back end of last year when he was playing the PDC stuff in Scandinavia and then turning up to Euro Tours whenever he qualified. But is the 50-year-old just having a break? Is this the only time we'll see him? I genuinely do not know.
135. $59.
Keegan has left himself 1-5-1. Magnus is going to leave himself
99.
something a little better.
In Uruguay, 151. Magnus Uruguay, 124.
One treble needed for a dart at the ball. Treble 18 it is. But he's not got it.
40. In Uruguay, 54. Yes, on the first leg, Keegan
Very
Brown.
neat and tidy finish for
Second leg
Keegan
is
Brown.
Magnus to throw first. Game on.
Winner of this faces the number 10 seed and the German number 1, Max Hopp, playing in his first Euro Tour event of the year after foolishly failing to enter the first two despite being a seeded player for them. He will undoubtedly get some
82.
big support here in Munich over this Easter weekend. And of course this is leading up to next weekend in Saarbrücken, where he will defend his German Darts Open
83.
title. A weekend where he became the first German ever to win a senior ranking event in PDC Darts, a historic weekend.
Yeah, back to the scene of the crime for Max Hopp. Magnus just needing to recover here after
80.
another iffy first start.
And curiously, this is the third time they've met, and Magnus has won them both.
Yeah,
Admittedly, we're talking 5-6 years ago.
137.
in the now forgotten UK Open qualifiers, as we
Yes.
lamented earlier.
Magnus going for a very rakish gold chain and open shirt combo. It's a Swedish beaten, if your mind can handle such a concept.
134.
Yeah, the zip is as low as it will go, Dan. Won't go any further than that, I'm afraid.
Mercifully, don't want him to go full Ted Hankey.
137. Keegan Uruguay, 147.
147 won't go, saw Aaron Monk take it out in the previous game.
57. Magnus Uruguay,
Should get a dart at
144.
bullseye for the leg when he returns, if he returns. Magnus. Another one in there. Would have left double 12.
96. Keegan Uruguay, 90.
18s here for, well, he's gone for the 20s instead. And he has gone for the bullseye, and that's why.
Keegan Brown. Third leg is Keegan to throw first.
As was
Game
alluded
on.
to. The bullseye for Keegan Brown. Confident start by the 26-year-old from the Isle of Wight.
96.
Only made 4 appearances on the Euro Tour last year. One of those was a quarter-final at this tournament, the German Darts Grand Prix, where he lost to Michael van Gerwen 6-0.
100.
And he lost to Van Gerwen, he lost to Jermaine Wattermain 6-0 in the very next tournament as well, at the German Darts Open. That seems to be a very different
100.
animal right now.
Yeah, and we will see him at the Austrian Darts Open in Graz and the European Darts Grand Prix in Sindelfingen. So once you tot all that up, you know, the $6.5 he picked up for the German
36.
Darts Championship, at least another grand here, at least a grand from those other tournaments. You're already looking at Keegan Brown and thinking we'll be seeing him at the European Championship.
Yeah.
42.
Look at where he is. What, 35 on the Pro Tour order of merit right now. top 30 in the order of merit. Bang on number 30, in fact.
Yeah, first time into the top 32. I couldn't believe that. That back-to-back semi-finals for Keegan Brown, putting him in the top 32 in the world rankings for the first time in his career. I think a lot of people remember him. He had a great run to the quarterfinals of the Grand Slam at darts, but it was a non-ranking tournament back then. But a bit like Aaron Monk, and Keegan has won a ranking title, of course, but a bit like Aaron Monk, maybe it's just sort of taken a few years for him to start to realise the obvious potential that everybody saw in them when they were younger.
95, Keegan Hewitt 124.
And realise this 1-2-4, he's 3-0 up. And he can't do it.
'92, Magnus Hewitt 130.
Well, chance for a break for Magnus Caris, but not anymore.
Yeah, you see it. 1-2-4 in the first leg, 130 in this leg, and he's not had a dart for the leg in either of them, Magnus.
24.
He should get at least a dart here.
72.
Well, he should do.
17 for ball led. Oh, Magnus, come on.
These are the sorts of opportunities that you simply can't afford to pass up, and Magnus Caris is having a horror visit here.
I don't know what he's planning on doing now. He's not allowed to go and take those darts out the board. You've got to throw the other one, mate.
Ooh, 12. Keegan Hewitt 8.
Oh, that's a real bad one. Getting closer.
Yeah, it's on the third leg.
Just when it looks as though Magnus Caris might get an opportunity with that 60.
Game on.
Keegan Brown takes out the double 4. And that just about sums up Caris's performance so far, just unable to land any significant blows.
Well, you've got to wonder. I mean, the last recorded tournament that we've got for Magnus Caris was back in October when he was playing on the Nordic and Baltic circuit. He actually made a semi-final. He had a decent year on the Nordic and Baltic circuit last year, Magnus. He was up there, 7th in the rankings. Yeah, it's only the likes of Daniel Larsson, Labanauskas, Rasma, Cantler, who's playing some great darts at the minute, Marco Cantler. They were above him, but he might not have actually been playing much since then, maybe not at all. So it could just be a bit of rustiness. And as I said earlier, I don't really know what his plans are. If this is his farewell tournament, at least for a while,
then maybe we should organise something for him.
Well, I mean, nobody said anything.
Little montage on the big screen, maybe, during the interval.
I genuinely didn't realise he hadn't been playing the Scandinavian circuit this year. I mean, they haven't had lots this year, but Madas Rasmus had 4 events. Madas Rasmus topping the list ahead of Labanauskas. Dennis Nielsen, another Swedish player's up there. Here we go. There's a very real chance, with the way this game is going, that Magnus Caris, in what may be the last time we see him for quite some time, is going to get obliterated by Keegan Brown.
96. Keegan Hewitt.
And that's a weird shot, Magnus. 96 to lead 168.
Yeah, not thinking clearly either, and
41.
maybe just as well given Keegan Brown's latest visit. But yeah, he hasn't played a great deal of European Tour darts, in fact, over the last couple of years either.
I do remember him going on a great run in Gibraltar, I think to the semi-final.
Quarter-final, that was. Yeah, I was
Quarter-final.
just going to come to that. He was... well, that was his first Euro Tour and only Euro Tour quarter-final. That was in 2017.
60. Magnus
But
Hewitt 32.
this is only his 3rd European Tour event since the start of 2017.
There we go, Magnus. A 16 darter who was looking in real trouble there.
Game on.
It could have been 4-0 down and a second breaker throw.
59.
He did actually qualify for the European Championship in 2015, but lost in the first round to Simon Whitlock. I remember an appearance in Sindelfingen as well in 2015.
100.
And also one at the European Match Play in Hamburg as well 3 years ago. So
83.
this could well be it for Magnus Caris. I don't want to write him off just yet, but
Well, it may be that he's been injured or whatever, and he just hasn't been able to play, but I just genuinely had no
60.
idea that he'd been out of action for the last 5 months, well, 6 months, really.
$99.
Ross Smith versus Mark Barilli to follow this one. Josh Payne and Jihan Artus after that. Karol Sedlarczyk and Diogo Portela sees the top players in the Czech Republic and Brazil go head-to-head before Kyle Anderson faces Kevin Munch. Munch on that, Keegan.
and he's left himself a big finish as well.
83. Magnus Uruguay 161.
And as it is, 6 starts from here will do, and it would be a break back for Magnus Caris. Make the most of it, Magnus.
65.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that to leave a 2-dart check out. Wasn't used to the bullseye. This
Pressure.
will hurt.
137. Magnus Uruguay 96.
A little bit close to the treble, which would have left him on double 3. Oh, what a dart that is.
Yeah, it's on the 5th leg.
Magnus Caris is back in this game
6th leg is Magnus to throw first.
and throwing to level the match when
Game on.
3 minutes ago Keegan Brown had 6 darts from 1-4-4 for a 4-0 lead and never got a dart for the leg. And Caris is now actually averaging more than Keegan. And from a position of incredible strength,
100.
Keegan Brown is potentially sleepwalking into a right old dogfight here. That's much better. All those clowns.
Yeah, Keegan Brown led 3-0. Even at the start of the 4th leg, he was
96.
looking pretty promising. He kicked off with a ton 40. But then there were visits of 37 and 41. And from that moment on, he's just started to look a little bit, not demoralised, but just as though he's losing his way a little bit. And once again, he's not really
51.
posted anything significant there.
Well, that's it. He's had 2 180s and 1 other score above 140. We're in the 6th leg here. Whereas Keegan, you know, he beat Marco van Gerwen with 104 average and 100% on doubles last time out on the European Tour, and backed it up with more very good performances after that. You don't make semi-finals of Pro Tour events averaging in the 80s
100.
and backing up your 180s with scores of 50 on. But that's kind of what he's doing here against Magnus. And Magnus has left himself 165 with a 140, which once again, a man of 50 years old and more than 3 decades playing this game should not be doing that. But
170.
Twice in one match, or twice in the space of 5 and a bit legs.
oh, hello, Keegan.
140.
Well, it was all set up
Magnus Uruguay 36.
as it is. That attempt at the 170, and the fact he's left 30 might not count for anything, because Magnus Caris 3-0 down,
Keegan to throw first.
all of a sudden back on terms at 3 apiece. Write him off at your peril.
93.
Just a really good illustration of how matches can just turn on a sixpence.
Big fan of Magnus Caris's dart shirt, by the way. I hope this isn't the last time we get to see it. Obviously, he's gone with the whole sort of poker face cards, poker, yes. But I do like what's obviously supposed to be a crowd of adoring fans at the bottom, but does look like a horde of zombies dragging themselves out of
a grave.
The earth. Yeah. Just reaching up.
It's like one of those Chinese puppet shows gone wrong as well.
I like it. It's a strong look.
100.
Put the phone down, watch the darts.
Come on, Malarkey. I know you're constantly putting your stuff on the gram. Hashtag no filter.
93.
I mean, what have they just missed by scrolling? You know, we've had a potentially pivotal visit of 93 there from Keegan Brown, and they've missed that. That could be the platform.
They're just telling all their mates. That's it. They're creating a buzz. Like, if you're down the Euro Tour, you want to tell everybody. You want to get some social capital out of that.
57.
Hashtag pork sword.
Yeah, don't use that hashtag. I will lead to all kinds of problems. Magnus Caris, with a big visit here, can put Keegan Brown in all kinds of problems, because a ton 40 here doesn't leave him a bogey number. For a change.
140.
The thing about Keegan Brown as well in Hildesheim was that he played really well under pressure. Is that Mark Wilson? Is that the top of Mark Wilson?
The top of his head, yeah. It's not all of Mark Wilson. Again, he could use the bullseye at the end of this.
Potential new feature there as well. Mixing and matching the top and bottom halves of darts players' heads.
Well, I'm going to leave that one for you to develop.
90. Keegan Uruguay, 65.
Loose last dart could cost him. Where's he gone here? Does he think he wants 61?
Oh.
43. Magnus Uruguay, 71.
I'm not sure what Keegan... Keegan evidently thought he wanted 61. I don't know what Kirk called, but he's missed it anyway.
Here as well, yeah. And he has been left with 22.
So tops for Caris to render it completely irrelevant, because that is 4 legs on the spin, and Keegan Brown, not only is he now trailing in this game when it looked very unlikely that that would happen when he was almost 4-0 up, but maybe his head has gone as well. There may have been a marking error, I don't know, but I'm pretty certain he wanted 65 because he'd scored 119 from 184. Yep. So yes, he had. Now he's just trying to G himself up. There is obviously the disappointment of missing darts at double, but when you're going for the wrong doubles, there's also a level of embarrassment there. I don't think a lot of the crowd will have picked up on it.
I'm wondering as well, did Keegan pick up on it as well, or it was unclear about whether he'd actually realised it after he collected his darts from the board. But anyway, we move on. It's 4-3.
He might not have, you know.
60.
All of a sudden, Magnus Caris, having looked well and truly out of this at 3-0 and potentially seemingly on the verge of a 4-0 scoreline. I mean, his finishing actually has been brilliant. 4 out of 5 over the course of the last 4 legs.
Yeah, and you know, 96 checkout, 71 checkout. It's only really the one aberration where he missed 2 big numbers looking at a 72. And that came in the 3rd leg when nothing was going right for him.
60.
Since then, things have improved markedly. 80% on doubles is always going to give you a chance if you can just try and just about keep pace on the scoring. Can be difficult against this man though.
Yeah, I was just making the point that Keegan Brown played really well under pressure for large chunks of that campaign in Hildesheim. This, all of a sudden, it's a very different sort of pressure. It's one of his own making, really. This might just get him back on track. He could do with something like this just to inject himself and get himself going again.
100.
Well, just a nice leg where he's not under pressure, not under threat. But he's going to be under some sort of pressure. Could be under a lot, you know.
Oh. 125. You require 67.
A theatrical pose from Magnus Caris after that final dart. This time he doesn't go the ball route. Safety first, Keegan Brown, double 16.
Right leg is Keegan to throw first. Game on.
Well, Keegan Brown may yet come through and win this. He does have the throw in 2 of the 3 remaining legs. His average has been higher than Magnus pretty much all the way through this game.
But his average has taken a tumble there with that opening visit of 39. Chance for Caris to steal a march on Keegan Brown at the start of this 9th leg.
But this has gone from looking like a walk in the park to incredibly hard work for Keegan Brown.
$125.
Bobby George it was who beat Caris in the semi-finals, as you mentioned, down at the World Championship, the Lakeside World Championship in 1994.
Mismatched darts as well. Magnus mismatched darts early on in that game.
I do remember that. I think Caris led 4-2 and was 2 up in the 7th set as well, and then Caris had opportunities, I think at double 18. George then won 9 legs in a row. Brilliant match.
140.
Magnus, ton 40 to leave 162. How about that? Oh, hello!
He's been listening.
It's only taken him 3 decades. But he's got the maths right and he's got the darts right as well. What a setup.
Magnus
99 to leave 98. Magnus won't take the 134, but these can be tricky.
54.
Now, if he hits the 20 here, what does he do? Does he go double 19, double top? No, he goes the more standard route, but he does not get a dart for the leg. And Magnus Caris 80% on doubles. He should get at least 1 dart for the leg here. The likelihood is he takes it, going on previous performances.
Perfect first dart. 2 bites at double 10 for Caris. 1 at double 5.
75.
Opportunity passes him by, and Keegan Brown
40.
may well have dodged a significant bullet here as well. Should be 5-4 down, but he might be about to go 5-4 up.
Last dart, steps across. Can't find it. Cannot find it.
Magnus require 5.
And Keegan Brown, how has he just let this game get away from him? Double 2. The Swede is 1 leg away.
10th leg is Magnus to throw first.
And again, you can look back to that 168. It really just got him going in that leg. Fluffed his lines on the following visit, but it was enough to get him in position. And even though he was reliant on mistakes, Caris made the most of them and is now throwing first for the match.
60.
And it could well be this sequence of winning Englishmen so far on day one of the German Darts Grand Prix comes to an end right here, right now.
96.
Well, look, we don't know whether this is the last time we'll see Magnus Caris this year, ever. Who knows? I'm not sure what his plans are. But he's given us a heck of a contest after...
60.
I was genuinely fearing it might have gone 6-0 in the early stages of this, because Keegan really should have been 4-0 up in this one. He's also given us all kinds of acrobatic waving in this match.
Yeah, and I think Keegan saw that out of the corner of his eye as well, so that's why he just stopped and took a moment. I don't think there was anything malicious in that from Magnus Caris. He's just not that sort of guy.
He's done well to see that, if he has, Key. Was he a chameleon?
He is still prone to the more than occasional visit like that as well, though. That's the trouble with Magnus Caris.
Yeah, he does have that I mean, there's hardly any follow-through at all with Magnus Caris.
96.
Throw. He's chalk and cheese with Keegan. It just stops. It's incredible that he's been around and competitive for as long as he has, when the throw itself is just a little flick.
As we said, it was a nervy start in Hildesheim, wasn't it, for Keegan Brown? He came through against Madars Razma 6-5 and certainly built on that. And it might be a similar passage for him this weekend as well, just all about coming through this opening match by whatever means. Still no guarantee that he will, although once again Caris giving him a massive helping hand.
43.
Well, he's not even halfway down from 501. He's had 15 darts in this leg. Keegan Brown is just being waved through to a last leg decider.
77.
And it's one where he would have the throw. But we have seen 5 breaks of throw in this game so far. This would be a 6th. It's not a guarantee that Keegan Brown can get the job done in the last leg.
60. Keegan Uruguay 40.
Looks like we're going the distance.
And shall I
And we are.
Keegan Brown.
Well,
The 11th and final leg.
you
is
have to
Keegan
make Brown the
throw
favourite
first.
now, purely because he is throwing first, but it's by no means a formality.
Well, it's a horror show of a leg from Magnus Caris, that one. Not the ideal form you want to be taking into a last leg decider. He is consistent in his inconsistency, Magnus, so maybe he's going to smash in a 180 here.
Yeah, 60, 60, 24, 60, 43 and 60. Awful from Magnus Caris.
58.
And it's continued in the same vein at the start of this, and that was where Magnus just needed to put some pressure on. A ton 40 at least would have just settled him down, but Keegan Brown building on it. And he's 187 away, and he has a cushion with which to work.
It's his 4th 180, but that is the most important of the lot. And look, it's not been
45.
brilliant from Keegan in this one. It's a low 90s average. There's been some good stuff, but having been in such control of this and then dragged into a fight and looking second favourite for a while, this last leg is very, very impressive. Potential 11 darter coming in, the best leg of the match, just when he needs it.
43.
This looks like the end for Magnus Caris. For how long, we don't know. But a collapse from Caris in the last couple of legs has given Keegan Brown a path through to round 2. And it's one that he's going to have to take in his next visit.
Yeah, many similarities with this performance by Keegan Brown in terms of the outcome of the match against Rasmussen in Hildesheim, and this one today. Similar average, similar checkout stats as well, potentially.
58, Keegan 40.
6 from 19 against Rasmussen, and could well be 6 from 19 today as well. Double 10. And there it is, Keegan Brown. A performance to forget, you have to say, but a win that sees him through to the second round here of the German Darts Grand Prix. And I think a performance that he will want to put well and truly behind him. And it's all about coming through and just moving on. Magnus Caris may well reflect on what might have been, and hopefully will establish over the next few hours exactly what Magnus Caris plans to do with the rest of 2019 as well. But for him, it's the end of the road here in Munich, and for Keegan Brown, it's a second round encounter against Max Hopp tomorrow. And I tell you what, he will have to improve significantly ahead of that one. That was the completion of our fourth match of the day. 4 Englishmen through so far, and we could well have another, because Ross Smith is on the way next against Mark Burrill.
Also, Applaus für Magnus Caris, für Pokerface und natürlich auch für Keegan Brown. Keegan, that was a difficult one, wasn't it?
Yeah, going 3-0 up, and I thought I was cruising, and all of a sudden Magnus does what he does best, and he comes back into it.
Tomorrow Max Hopp is waiting. It will be louder than today.
It'll be a lot louder than today. No, in all fairness, every time I play Max is a good game, so I'm in for another one.
Cool, see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Keegan Brown und Magnus Caris. Und Keegan sagt, Mensch, auch gegen Max, ich freue mich drauf. Ich weiß, es wird richtig laut werden, aber das bekommt er hin. Nach der 3:0 Führung so ein paar